Okay, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my Panzer 5 or Panther tank mock. This is inspired by the Brickmania Panther from a few years ago when I built this Panther. So yeah, let's get into it. So starting with the front corner, you got your fenders, a nice hinged sloping technique here to get the angle of that front end, and I really like how I was able to get this dish piece put in there with the bar sticking out at a very interesting angle that does use an illegal building technique because the snot brick that holds these two pieces is not fully seated on the stud. It's kind of angled up a little bit, but that's just so it fits through the gap here on this front glacis plate. So I do believe my model is a bit narrow and tall, or maybe it's just a bit narrow, which makes it look tall compared to the real Panther, so it's not 100% accurate, but none of my mocks are. So up front we have the drive sprocket here and the idler wheels, and as you can see, the rear idler wheels are a different piece. It's because I only have like 4 or 5 of these, so I could only use them in the front, and like I think I have one on the other side, as you'll see in a minute. But that's one thing that's been on my list to get. I still have not gotten any more of these pieces, but when I do, I will replace all of the non-correct pieces to these dish pieces. The back idler here, it's a gear, but I didn't know what else to use, really. We got our small side skirts here, your antenna. Let's go to the turret. So we have the long 75mm here. I wanted to use black Technic 3 long pins. However, the black Technic pins, and the blue ones for that matter as well, for some reason do not accept flex tube or any sort of bar into them end to end like these tan ones do, or at least I couldn't get any of them to work. So that's something I want to revisit to maybe get it a color consistent barrel, because it's like black, tan, black. Doesn't really look that good. I do like the use of this piece right around the gun mantlet. It does look very good. The front of this turret's pretty rudimentary. I have those off-color things. There's gaps in it. You can see all the bright colored pieces on the inside. So that's one thing I do want to come back and relook at, as well as maybe making the center part of this hull 7 studs instead of 6 to maybe give it a little bit wider of an appearance. But the sloping on the turret is very nice. On the sides, it's the hinged, and then just stacked snot technique here to get the rear. You have your rear hatch there, and then the commander's hatch. I believe there should be another hatch for the loader. However, I did not put that in on this model. That's another thing I'll have to go back and make sure I correct that. I do have the rail here around the commander's cupola for the MG34 machine gun. Basic mock-up, but this is the best I could do with this type of mount. So I did what I could. I would like to change this up and make it a little bit better. However, this is what I have for now. So moving back here, I have an antenna. The engine deck back here does open up. It is ratcheted though, so that makes it very difficult to open, especially with one hand. And then the back here, I think this is one of the best rear ends of any tank model that I've done. But that's because there's a lot more pictures of the rear of Panthers, and they're a very iconic thing about a Panther, that backwards sloping with the 2 exhausts coming up. It's a very iconic shape, and down low it's not as good, but I do think I got that slope very executed very well as the exhaust ports. So then coming around to this side, you can see I only had 2 of those disc pieces, and I had to use some big gears here, just like the drive sprockets, as a placeholder until I get the proper parts. And there is one more detail about this tank that kind of sets it apart from the rest of my tanks. you can open it up and it has a partial interior, mostly just an engine detail, but you take the turret off and that's just what you can see there from the turret. And then you just take the top part of the hull off, and then in there you can see there's a V12 with like the little crank there, engine just like the real vehicle, however very colorful inside. And there actually it's mounted on a hinge, so that isn't illegal. So you can see how I did that gun technique there. So yeah, that's pretty much all the interior detail there is. At some point in time, I would like to go back and add interior detail to all of my tanks, but that is a very daunting task that I have so much other Lego stuff that I want to do. And interiors of tanks is something that you almost never see other than in videos like this where I'll tear it apart for you. So that's not very high on my priority list. That's like a do it in 10 years when I have nothing else to do kind of thing. But yeah, so that's my Panther tank model. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.